Hi
Hi
everyone.
everyone.
Hi
Hello
everyone.
everyone. Hello.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
We are really happy to see you all here. We are thrilled to be with you. It's a great event, a great Ask Me Anything session. We received many different questions, and so we will go one by one. I hope that you will get all the answers to all your questions, and please feel free if you have any questions or anything to say, just say it loud. There is a chat and there is questions. What I suggest is we can maybe wait a few seconds more, and we will start. In the meantime, let me share my screen. Hop. Here we go. So who do we have on the chat? Xavier. Okay.
X Gilbert.
Adam. Hi, Adam. Okay. People are still coming. So I guess Grace is here. Xavier Gilbert, ID 42. Amazing.
James. James is around. Hi James.
Yes, we see Luca. Hi, Luca. We receive your questions, Luca. We will get through them. Satya, Hans Peter, James. Okay, let's. James, my first time. Good to see you here. Okay, guys, let's go. We will start. Let's go first through all the questions. So first, of course, we will introduce ADIA Lab because it's an Ask Me Anything session for the ADIA Lab competition. We will also present a bit CrunchDAO if you don't know who we are and what we do, just a short recap. And then we'll go through all the questions one by one. The first one is about a potential job offering at ADIA. So we have been asked these questions. Then people were asking if the competition price will be in dollar or in Crunch, because we have a native token called the Crunch. So this is why people are asking the questions. Can we expect the competition format to be similar to the current tournament? We have also another question. The presentation of the competition indicates that you will collect models, not predictions. What will we need to provide? Saved models, code for calibration, code for inference, prediction plus documentation. So we will reply to this. Then we received also some comments like, I have to give you my code though. And to finish, we have two other questions. Will there be crunch given to the community for participants in ADIA Lab competition? And will the competition allow for teaming up? So I suggest we start immediately answering the questions. What is ADIA Lab? So ADIA Lab, it's an independent institution that is engaged in basic and applied research in data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning. But this is what is written on the website. So you can find it. What I would just want to say is that it's a world-class institute with the best researchers in the world. We can even actually grow through their websites, I believe. So they have they are doing research. It's a great team that they have with Horst Simon, Nobel Prize. We have also Marcos Lopez de Prado, Alex Lipton, and so on. So it's the team is it's a world-class team. And we are obviously very happy to partner with them because it's an honor for the CrunchDAO. Let's go about the presentation with CrunchDAO. Arnaud?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know CrunchDAO, CrunchDAO is a community of thousands of data scientists who predict the market. CrunchDAO here, in the case of
yes, the mic is muted.
Okay, I was on you, sorry.
Like if you can start again. That's the things on a live events. Go on.
Okay, well, there we go. Okay, so CrunchDAO is a community of thousands of data scientists predicting the stock market. And so here, in the case of ADIA Lab tournament, we serve as a secure intermediary. Basically, we are the trustee between the data scientists who are providing their code and participating in the competition, and the client, who can be financial institutions or research lab in the case of ADIA Lab.
Yeah, let me unmute myself.
Okay. Yes. So the protocol that we have here, CrunchDAO, is the man in the middle. You have the clients on the bottom who can be today hedge funds, financial institutions, research lab, and maybe tomorrow there could be clients outside of the financial industry. These clients provide obfuscated data. That's very important to understand that CrunchDAO doesn't know what the data is, which is an important question because it means that the code that you would be sharing cannot be used for other clients. It's really specific to one client, and we don't know how to use it elsewhere. So the researchers provide research and give, by sharing their predictions, their codes, their models, their skills, they provide quality predictions to CrunchDAO. So what is important is CrunchDAO is a trustee who protects intellectual property of both the researchers and the client.
Thank you very much. So the description of the competition mentioned price in dollar. Will we get dollar or crunch? So obviously it's dollar, and it's ADIA Lab that will actually pay you directly, but it will. So it's dollar. I think it's quite clear. Then we have another question. Can we expect the competition format to be similar to the current tournament? Some features over different moons need to be optimized, average correlation over different targets. Jean, maybe, or Matteo?
I guess I can take this one. Yeah, so first of all, you will know everything you need to know, and you will see the documentation, some notebooks, some analysis on the exploratory data analysis itself. We can say that it's being a financial machine learning problem, and in particular being associated with this combination of that you're familiar with, particularly if you played already in the CrunchDAO tournament. That puts together tabular data with time series in financial data. So there are many commonalities, let's say, but of course it's a different game. There are different assumptions, different design choices that will make the competition different competition, a different game completely. But yeah, again, you will know everything about this, I believe, the 14th of May, the 12th, sorry. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next question then. The presentation of the competition indicates that you will collect models, not predictions. So what will we need to provide? Saved model, code for calibration, code for inference, prediction, plus documentation. Arnaud?
Okay, thank you, Ben. So what is very important in finance and machine learning in general, if you ask any asset manager, if he wants to look at your whether fund or signal, he will tell you that he needs 2.5 to 3 years out of sample. So what is very important is not just to give a model that will work on 1 week. we want to have a prediction that will work on actually a long period of time. This is called out of sample. So the goal of the way the competition is organized in two phases is very important for this approach. The phase one, you can change your code, you can test your predictions, and you can train on the data that you can see. Once this phase is ended, everything is locked. You cannot update your code, and then the competition will continue for 3 months, and that will be the out of sample test to see if the model perform well out of sample. And so this allows 3 things which are very important. It allows reproducibility, so we know that the code can be reproduced and given new predictions. We know also that the code can be retrained, and that's something very new in this, and maybe Jean, you can talk about this a little bit. The code can be retrained to get a new predictions, and that will be done in the out of sample phase. And that's really important because we will measure the performance and the quality of the researcher based on this out of sample.
Yes, so we spend quite some time with the ADIA Labs team on designing and engineering a new way of running data science competition. And we focused on the needs of ADIA Lab, which were reproducibility, having the possibility to retrain your model even during the out of sample phases. And we were looking around in a different competition, and I think we really came with something that is great. And I can't wait to show you how it will work. This will be released on the 12th with the documentation. We will have demo, video, etc., and you will understand how we see these 2 phases articulate around each other. So first phase, building your models and running it against a public leaderboard, but that doesn't allow cheating or some kind of meta-labelings that can give you great results. But at the same time, keeping this out of sample with a retraining function that allows the retrain of the model. So it's a complete new way of compete, and it will be, I think you will love it. It's very, very innovative.
Great. I think now you should hear me. Sorry, because I had this microphone issue. Okay, let's go to the next question now. If there is any issue with the sound, by the way, just say it in the chat, but it should be good. I have to give you my code though. Jean?
Yes, so to run the competition with this kind of specificity, you will need to submit your code. But remember that we are, I think you're not mute, but I can hear myself also. Yes, thank you. So remember that CrunchDAO in this situation has no idea what the data is. So we work with ADIA Lab on designing this tournament, the backend of the tournament, the functions, how to call your code, etc. But we have no idea what the data is. It's a complete black box. And we also have no idea what you did on your side to make it so specific to this data set. So what you have been submitted is of no use for us in another use case. I mean, the CrunchDAO can do anything since we don't know what the data is, and you build something specific to this data set. So there is a complete Chinese wall on both sides for us, on the ADIA Lab side and on the participant side.
Thank you very much, Jean. I think it's quite clear about the Chinese wall. So let's go to the next question. Will there be crunch given to the community for participating in ADIA Lab competition? So for sure, the DAO will serve many clients in the future, and the CrunchDAO will reward a researcher. We will incentivize you to take part in all the competition. So for sure, it's interesting for the current crunchers to take part in all the competition, of course, yes. Then we have, I think it's the last question. Will the competition allow for teaming up? So no, there will be no team. There will be no team. Thank you. I think we went through all the questions. Do you have some questions in the chat, or do you have, Jean, Arnaud, or Matteo, do you have something to add to all the questions? Adam is typing, so let's wait for Adam question. Please feel free to ask your questions if we are not so clear about any elements.
I think there was one question, Ben, where your microphone were not working. Maybe you can go over it again. It was the second question, I think.
Yeah.
In the meantime, let me underline again what Jean said before. So on next week, on the 12th, we're going to release some documentation, and so let's also communicate on what you would like to understand better in terms of backend functioning, in terms of how to start, how to submit your first interact for the first time, things like this. So from next week, then I guess we're going to have another Q&A on the 25th. So no rush to ask questions when there are plenty of opportunities to get clarifications between now and the first and the beginning of the competition, basically.
So we have two questions. The first is from Satya. What kind of data do we work with during competition? Who wants to take this question?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, we cannot say much yet. The release of the documentation will be on the 12th again, so a bit of patience on this front. It's data descriptive. It's a supervised learning problem. This we can already say, and it's made of data associated with financial markets. This is, I guess, all we can say for now. So stick with us for another week.
Thank you, Matteo. And the second question is for Ada. Is a question, Adam's question. So he says, thanks for the clarification regarding out-of-sample test. Will we have documentation regarding what kind of out-of distributions behavior we should expect, or shall we assume any distribution?
Yeah, well, by definition, let's say out-of-sample is something you cannot infer. I mean, you have to build your model such that it's robust to variations in macros regime, let's say, in the behavior of the system. But of course, you can only look at the in-sample data set to do this. So you cannot expect anything from the out-of-sample. You can expect everything, and you have to be able to be robust against that in the in-sample.
I think, Adam, you're an expert, and you know that it's a matter of cross-validation on the train set. So it's an idea of like making sure that you don't overfit, basically.
We have another question from Jeremy. So he's asking about any limitation in the submission in terms of RAM, code, runtime, etc. Who wants to take this question?
Well, yes, obviously, yes. But everything will be specified in the documentation. There will be plenty of, I think, room to experiment with the size of the data that you will be working with. But obviously, there is some limitation that will be disclosed soon, next week again. So a bit of suspense on that. Sorry, Jeremy.
So maybe I should come back to the question. I think it was the potential job offering at ADIA. Sorry, the mic was off for any, I don't know, I didn't understand the reason, by the way. But anyway, so let's go back to the question to answer it properly. Let me share again my screen and let's go through it. So as I was saying, ADIA Lab is independent and separated from ADIA. So there is absolutely no guarantee that you will be heard. You can still try. There are some open positions today at ADIA. We know it. Matteo did share a link with you, but there is no guarantee, of course, because the two are separate. But one personal note on that is that if you rank first or in the top 10 in this competition, I think we can be quite sure that you will interest a lot of people. So you should expect, I guess, some interest. So that's it for this question.
Just regarding Jeremy's remarks, some external libraries, yes. We are putting together, there will be whitelisted libraries that can run, but you will have an open door with the team to propose a library that you want to work with. And after thorough analysis that there is no malicious or any kind of cheating attempt with some kind of libraries, your library will be whitelisted. It's a matter of an hour on our side. Also, you will see there is a limitation. Of course, your code won't be able to access internet while during the out of sample and these kind of things. Yes, obviously.
So there is a question from James. Is the winner obliged to disclose the entire algo code? Will there be a licensing agreement with ADIA, royalties, or payout mechanism? I guess I can take this question. So you can actually participate to the competition and rank first. And if you don't want to give your code, then you can just don't give it, but you will not be paid. So you will not have you will be first, but you will not get the $40,000 for the first. And yes, you need to provide your code if you want to have the $40,000 or any price that will be paid by ADIA Lab to you. I hope it's clear.
And again, the question was on ADIA, but it's really ADIA Lab, the client. And so any contractual agreement is with ADIA Lab.
And also, I will add again that the CrunchDAO here is responsible of the scoring. So then there is also tournament rules that have been published and etc. You can see that we are just responsible of the scoring, and then this part with ADIA is ADIA Lab will be a discussion with you, and you will have to document your code. You will have to give clean code and etc. But that is quite a classical procedure.
That is typing, I guess. Another question? Will there be any interaction with ADIA Lab as they are providing the data if any question arises? I guess we will do the intermediary. We are checking with them. So we are, of course, we are in contact. So any question you may have, you shall just ask it in the Discord and you will get an answer.
And in addition to the Discord, we added a forum that it will be more adapted to long argumentary about some scientific question you may have. And of course, there will be people around to help you and to answer your question. And I'm sure some people from the ADIA Lab would love to help if they can. But anyways, there will be both Discord and the forums to interact. So don't hesitate. If you already have some question and you want to ask or you want to share content, you can do it on the forum that we put on the platform. Also, and finally, there is you will be able to share some code. So if you want to share notebooks and you want to add some remarks about these notebooks and maybe exchange, that will also be possible if you want to, I don't know, show some graph or show some EDA or something that you find, some interesting fact about the data, etc. That will be another possibility for collective intelligence.
Great. I think that we answered all the questions. Anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask it on the Discord. We are thrilled to have you on board. We've seen huge interest in the competition with hundreds of registration in the first hours. So it's beautiful. Looking forward to seeing you again, and see you on the Discord.
And I guess see you at least next Friday, since there will be another AMA. So this kind of meetings will be stepping stone. I mean, on every week during the following weeks that are coming with this tournament. So don't hesitate if you have other question, add it in the form that Ben share, and we'll do another session next week.
Great. Thank you. Bye bye.
very much.
See
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Thank you
Goodbye.
very much.